Today in Luther's Kitchen, we're making a super moist carrot cake. So we're going to start with the frosting. And for this recipe, we are using confectioner's sugar that we have sifted to remove any lumps. We're also using some heavy cream, and we're adding that to that sifted confectioner's sugar, some pure vanilla extract, and then the secret to this creamy, luscious frosting is mascarpone, which is Italian cream cheese. So it's not quite as sour as traditional American cream cheese. It's very creamy, but it has a little more mild flavor to it. So once you get that pack of mascarpone in with the cream and the confectioner's sugar, you want to whisk really well to make sure it's very smooth and not lumpy. Now for the cake batter, we're going to begin by using large eggs, and for this recipe we're going to use 4 large eggs. We're also going to add canola oil, granulated white sugar, brown sugar, and some vanilla extract. Give everything a really good whisk, making sure you incorporate everything together. Now it's time to add the dry ingredients, and ideally you can lose the whisk at this point. A spoon is much easier to work with, but you want to combine flour, baking soda, baking powder, kosher salt, and cinnamon. Again, a spoon would be better because you don't want to overmix this batter, because if you overmix the batter, you'll end up with a very tough cake. We also dropped in some applesauce. Now it's time to add the last 3 ingredients. So we've got shredded carrots, and we did this in a food processor because the ones from the grocery store in the bag are a little too large, I think, for carrot cake or carrot bread. You want a much finer shred to it, and we're adding about 3 cups of freshly grated carrots. And after the carrots are incorporated, you can add in some chopped pecans if you would like. Toasted is better if you start with them toasted. And we also dropped in some raisins, which we don't show. Now it's important to prepare 2 8-inch round cake pans by spraying them with nonstick spray or just rubbing some canola oil on them. That works just as well. And you want to equally divide your batter between those 2 cake pans. Bake these in a preheated 350-degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, or until the center is done, and you know it's done when you insert a toothpick in it and dry crumbs come out and not batter. It's important that your cake is fully cooled before you apply your frosting. We actually froze this. We made the cake a few days ago and wrapped each one really well in plastic wrap. And now we are going to apply that icing that's had some time to set up in the refrigerator. So it's really important that you refrigerate that, because when you mix the cream with the mascarpone, it's going to be kind of a looser consistency. It's not super heavy of a frosting, which is probably why I really like it with this cake. I'm not a baker, so I don't like to fuss too much with decorating, so I just make this look pretty rustic. I apply 1 layer of the frosting in the center. I put the other layer of cake on top, and then a nice layer of frosting on top of that. I don't bother with doing the sides, it's just not how I roll. And then we top it with some chopped pecans that have also been toasted. This cake can be made in advance, and all of this can be set up. You can put the icing on top, and you can put the nuts on top, and you can refrigerate it. I would suggest keeping it in the refrigerator. You can do this up to a day in advance. It's super moist, this cake, so it holds up well being refrigerated. I think it also tastes better when it's cold. For this recipe and more, visit myclasscancook.com.